So I just saw a crazy relatable video about how when you put in your 2 weeks notice, most of the time you find out that they end up firing you or letting you go for some reason or whatsoever, right? Well, I'm 30 now, but whenever I was graduating from high school, I worked at KFC, and I'd worked there for it was definitely over a year. It could have been close to 2 years, honestly. But I worked at KFC, and then I wanted to make more money, so I left to go work at Outback Steakhouse because tips. And didn't work out because it was stressful as fuck. But let's be real, working at a chicken place anywhere in the South is stressful as fuck. But I couldn't handle Outback Steakhouse, so I came back. And that was a few months later. That was I left in August and I came back in November, December. So it was literally 3 months. And what happened in that time was whenever I put in my 2 weeks notice, the assistant manager, who was this big chick who was fucking the cook at the time, who would wear thongs that were hanging out the back of her ass, said to me it was 2 days. It was a day or 2 days from my final day of my 2 weeks notice, and I was like, hey, or I wasn't even hey. She was like, hey, you only got 2 days left. Who cares? Just go home. It's just 2 days. And I'm like, you have a point. And my manager, Paul, who was over her, is just as cool as her. So I'm like, makes sense. Whatever. Okay, yeah, whatever. So then I go home. Whatever. I mean, it was 3 months later, after horrible decisions, I come back, and the fucked up part is they give me the whole rigmarole of yeah, you're on, we just gotta go through the process, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Sorry, I had to talk shit with my man. So they just want to go through the process, and all that good shit. Well, I still had the numbers of some of the employees that were still there. I was roommates with one of them, for God's sakes. And I contacted one of them who had become a manager since then. And she was like, yeah, actually the thing is when the manager, the store manager, got fired, not the assistant manager that, let me go and all this shit. I was gonna say skip out, but I didn't skip out. She let me go. Her boss, my boss, got fired for some reason. Maybe because he was very nonchalant about a lot of things. But as I saw it at the time, a very cool manager. Anyway, so he got fired, and then the regional manager, who, let's be real here, I kissed that man's ass so much every time he came to the store. Oh, this makes me so fucking hot. So, imagine this wall is the wall at KFC, and it's not flat like this. It's a texture of sorts. If you remember, I don't know if the school seats are still like that, but if you remember way back in to elementary school, what the school seats used to look like. They used to look like a worm ate its way through the plastic and all these little squigglies. That is what the wall is. And that man was coming to work one day to surprise us with an inspection, and my job was to clean all of the, and I worked at KFC, a fucking chicken place where you breathe in grease, for God's sakes. And they were clean these corrugated walls with this sponge, and hours, and the manager even saw me and was like, hey man, get that ladder and get up there high and take care of that, don't forget to get up high. And I'm like, you got it, fucking A, man. So I every time that man stepped on site, I was up his ass crack, not in an annoying way, but is there anything I can do, sir? Please, I work for $7.25, give me a raise. So anyway, this man comes in, and for some reason, I don't know how soon after my boss was fired after I left, but for some reason my paperwork wasn't filed completely in the systems. They didn't finish it out, I guess. So this man just goes into the system and puts in that I was fired for not giving my notice. And which makes me unhireable. That specific store won't hire me again because of that, which is some bullshit because I put in my 2 weeks notice and was told by an assistant manager that I could leave. But at this point in time, it had been 3 months since that happened, and who gives a fuck at that point in time? And I was also 18 and in college and was more worried about like smoking weed and getting drunk. So I was like, fuck these people and a possible lawsuit where I could have made money. But whatever. Yeah. I don't even know what job came after that, let's be honest. What was that? Freshman year? College? KFC? Oh, went to Arby's. Arby's. Same thing. Okay. We arrived to Arby's, worked there for 2 years. Great. Yeah. But anyway. Did y'all ever have like a situation with a 2 weeks notice that just didn't end the way you thought it would? As in, like, putting your 2 weeks notice, filling it out, and, that relationship ending happily and unbothered and untoxic? Anything besides that I would love to hear about, because the more I think about it, the more I think I could have made some money back then. Oh, Lord help me.